Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the APEC Women Leadership Forum's annual debate. I'm Jing from Xinhua International. As you may have known, today we talk about the eternal question, can women have it all? You know, as a man, I've never quite figured out what exactly women want. I hope I can walk away with some answers today, because my wife would be really happy if I did. Today we're very pleased to hear from 4 very distinguished guests. Arguing for the motion, women can have it all, we are very pleased to have Professor Wu Qing. Professor Wu is head of the Honourary Council, Beijing Cultural Development Center for Rural Women. Before retiring, she taught English language and American studies at Beijing Foreign Studies University. I am especially honored to moderate this debate because I myself was a student of Professor Wu's 15 years ago. And Professor Wu's influence goes well beyond the campus. She had been a People's Deputy for nearly 30 years, since 1980s, seeking solutions to the most pressing public issues and promoting women's rights and civil rights in China. She was lauded by media as one of the most annoying and pestering People's Deputies, never fearing to stand up to authorities. With a fulfilling career and a happy family, I think Professor Wu seems to have it all. Please welcome Professor Wu Qing. Next, we welcome Ms. Nicole Steele. She's a founder of the digital strategy consultancy Drink Digital and high-end online shoe shopping company VIAJIYU, and co-founder of the Balmain boat company. In her career spanning 2 decades, Ms. Steele has powered through businesses on 4 continents in a broad range of industries, including luxury, automotive, consumer electronics, education, entertainment, fast-moving consumer goods, pharmaceuticals, and startups. I'm sure our audience is eager to find out how you managed to accomplish so much and the secrets to your success. Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to Ms. Nicole Steele. Arguing against the motion, women cannot have it all, please allow me to present Ms. Chen Luyu, creator and host of A Date with Luyu, one of the most popular talk shows in China, of which I'm also a big fan. Luyu has been called China's Oprah, and her guests including celebrities, athletes, and politicians. Her show covers a wide range of issues, including some quite controversial ones rarely seen in other programs in China. And her show enjoys a viewership in the many millions. Please welcome Ms. Chen Luyu. Last but not the least, please welcome Dr. Zhang Huaying, Coca-Cola's Vice President in China and Korea. She was previously an officer in the Chinese Ministry of Health. After joining the Coca-Cola company in 1994, Dr. Zhang went on to hold various positions at the company, including research and risk management. She's also dedicated to promoting healthy and nutritional beverages and environmental awareness, and works to help Coca-Cola make meaningful contributions to the society. Please welcome Dr. Zhang Huaying. Okay, now please all seated. Does it work? Okay. Now that all our panelists are seated, please allow me to briefly explain how the debate will be conducted. Each debater will have 7 minutes to present your argument. I think we have someone down there to show us that time is up. And there will be 2 rounds, so each debater will have 2 opportunities to present her case. When each round is over, we'll take a few comments from the audience. So please don't hesitate to raise your hand if you wish to say something. We welcome strong and diverse opinions, and we'll also do a hand count at the end of each 2 rounds to find out where the audience stand on the question. We'll compare the 2 polls to see how this debate has affected your opinion. Okay, the debate begins. Let's start with Professor Wu Qing. Arguing for the motion, women can have it all.
Sisters, brothers, citizens, and global citizens. 姐妹们、兄弟们、公民们、世界公民们，我想问一下，你们希望我用英文还是用中文？中 好的，
Well, I
谢谢。
think, Professor Wu, I think the organizer requires to speak in English. Is that okay?
All right. I address you that way because I think it is very important for every one of us to know that being a woman does not mean that you are one. First of all, we are human beings before we are girls and women. Men are human beings before they are men and boys. And that's why we are equal. I think this is very important. This is what my mom has told me, because here we have role models. My mother is Bin Xin. Thank you. Now the topic is, do women want to have it all? Since nobody has set the definition, I don't like this topic. I don't like it at all. Why? Because I think the most important thing is that we should have the right to make our choice. At different stages of our lives, we might want different things, right? So I don't think, well, I think it's very silly to say I want it all. But then actually I would like to be a whole human being. A whole human being. What does that mean? It means, number one, that I have to know my rights as well as my responsibilities. And that's why I address you at the very beginning, citizens. Because being a citizen, we have to know about our rights as well as our responsibilities. Number two, we all have to be financially independent. Because the topic, like whether it is good to marry a millionaire or to be economically independent. It has always been the topic for university graduates. But to me, I think the safest thing to do is to stand on your two own feet. To be financially independent. This is vital, especially now with very high divorce rates. Now in China, actually, a lot of people don't know the real meaning of love. Now, like having a house, a villa, having a good car, Rolls Royce, or whatever, right? Or with a lot of money. That's not love. You have to love with your heart. Number three is environmental protection. This world, I think the environment is degrading. And that's why if you look out from your windows today, Beijing is heavily polluted. Every single person has the responsibility to protect our environment, no matter where you are, because we are living in a global village. Number four is health and sanitation. We should have a very healthy lifestyle. And this will also help us to protect the environment. And we should know how to avoid certain things, right? Number fifth is education. We should pay attention to formal as well as informal education. That's why I have a school for rural women. And this is the place where you're going to visit. It's in the Changping area. Because to me, I think the core of education is about body and soul. It's about human beings. This is important. I think being a global citizen, we have to uphold universal human rights. Because if we don't respect the universal values, it's very difficult for people to make friends. Like some of my best friends are living in the United States, in Japan, in Africa, because we share the values. Number six is we have to fight against violence. I mean, because we come from different parts of the world, we have different cultures, and then we have different ideas. But then I think all these conflicts have to be solved through having dialogues, through having communications, through having heart-to-heart talks. People have to have a very strong sense of integrity and honesty. And that's why I've been writing some Chinese characters. Like the word love, I like to use the complicated version because it has the word heart. You have to speak from your heart. You have to love people from your heart. You have to do things from your heart. Then that will be earnesty, right? The second word is trust. Now, Chinese characters are formed by two parts. On the left part is Ren, human beings or individuals. On the right part is speak, speech. And then they form trust. If you don't tell the truth, if you don't speak the truth, you will never be honest. And yet I think this world lacks these. Okay, my time is up. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Wu. Professor Wu has given us a very new definition of having it all, which really broadened the scope of this discussion. Now please welcome Ms. Nicole Still, arguing for the motion.
I'm already breaking the rules. I'm supposed to stay seated. How's that? I'd like to share some words today, definitely from my heart. Let me start by saying I am one woman. I do not represent all women. My point of view is exactly that, mine, shaped by my life experiences. I am not a public speaker. I am a writer, one who moonlights as an entrepreneur. This is my first public appearance to discuss women's issues. I'm not nearly as well practiced as my peers, so please be kind. I'm not the VP of a Fortune 500 company, nor do I have a PhD in women's studies. I am the founder of a small family business less than 1 year old. We don't sell airplanes or fight for human rights in Asia. We sell shoes, women's shoes. And I'm going to tell you a bit more about that later. So let's get down to business. I believe women can have it all. I definitely have it all. Despite experiencing racism, sexism, ageism, pay inequality, sexual harassment, criticism for my choice not to have children, and for marrying very late, only 4 months ago. Never once in my life have I ever believed I did not have it all. Where I come from, I could have easily been pregnant at 16. My grandmother had 7 children, not by choice, and no college education. Now at age 91, she lives in a nursing home penniless and supported by the state. My mom had no college education and worked nights at a gas station because she could not afford childcare. Lucky for us, my father cooked us dinner and tucked us into bed. My mother taught me that I could have anything I wanted if I finished university. I did, twice, working 2 jobs to pay for it myself. My father taught me to play sports as well as the boys. He coached my teams, and he used to say, "Baby girl, you can do anything your brother can do. Just believe in yourself. Don't make excuses." Saying women can't have it all is pessimistic, negative, and oppressive. It's an excuse. It's simply wrong. It's a myth. It's made up. It lets women think, I can't have it all, so why bother at all? In 2011, Princeton University study concluded that in the first decade of this century, female graduates' desire to take on leadership positions had plummeted. In China, as most of you know, the government and society campaign against women who choose not to marry and have children by 30. By definition, I am one of these women. It even has a derisive label meaning leftover women. These very same women are one of the single most important factors fueling the country's economic success. After the Arab Spring, experts said that women in the workforce were the best bet to fuel political and economic stability. Yet women today across the globe are not leaning in enough, says Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg. And I agree. But what's worse, we don't lean in together. We create ludicrous mommy wars. We criticize each other's choices. We loathe the word feminist, especially if we're in our 20s. According to the Webster Dictionary, feminism is a political and social movement that depends on three things: equal pay for equal work, protection of reproductive freedoms, and fair and balanced political representation. I am a feminist. I have always been a feminist. I started a company to reimagine feminism, rebrand it, reclaim it. It's not a dirty word. I loathe the question, like my peer, can women have it all? Because it is a sensationalist question posed to divide women, defeat feminism, and make money off of minorities by selling more books, magazines, and daytime talk shows. Having it all has nothing to do with equal pay for equal work. So, can women really have it all? Yes. It's not a question men even get asked. So why women? In my 20s, I had it all. I was lucky. I worked as a journalist at Time magazine during September 11th and graduated with my master's at Columbia in New York. In my 30s, I had it all. I traveled across 14 countries in Asia, teaching people to reimagine their businesses. And now on the eve of my 40s, I have it all. I live in Italy. I own a shoe company set up on 4 continents, including in countries like China, self-funded. A shoe company whose mission is to reimagine our view of feminism, kickstart the conversation again through women's love of shoes, and support female-founded businesses. I am a feminist who believes these things to be true. You have what you work for, not what you desire. You have what you believe in, not what you wish for. You have it all if what you choose is your all, not what the media says is having it all. If you think you can have it all, you can. VIAJIYU is my 4th career. From nanny and waitress to journalist to strategic consultant, now I'm making shoes. I do what I want because it's my life. For me, freedom is what I want, so I work towards that. All of my choices come back to this single value. Am I financially free? Not anymore, but I wasn't in my 20s. Last year, I was illiterate, homeless, and literally disconnected in a place where mobile reception was a luxury. I was running a skinny startup in a country where I could not read and write, sleeping on my shop floor where my mobile had no reception, but I was pursuing my passion. I named my company VIAJIYU because it literally means the Freedom Road. I want a generation of women to blaze trails, any trails their heart desire in fabulous flat shoes. I want to inspire women to go not where the path may lead, but to go where there is no path and blaze new trails. And I want women to have a pair of fabulous flats tucked in their bag or on their feet, so when they really have to give men a run for their money, they can in equally flat footwear. A woman who wears flats is not only comfortable in her own feet, she is comfortable in her own skin. She has the confidence to wear flats, to stand tall on her own 2 feet. I love high heels, especially when I'm dancing. And my husband will tell you I love to dance. But for me, it's not a choice between heels and flats. It's the option to wear both, just like having it all. It's not a question of family or career. It's about defining your all, marching to your own beat, and tuning everyone else out. It's really about being proud to be a woman, whether you're a mother, a CEO, or both. It's about standing up as a feminist to support all women, because who doesn't believe in equal pay for equal work? We have to be the change we want to see. We have to be bold. Wear fabulous bright red shoes, or pink, or blue, because let's face it, it's your choice, even if beige is a more conservative option. And nobody really wants to be beige, at least I don't. So today, I challenge all of you here to keep walking, keep walking, keep walking in fabulous, brightly colored shoes. because then I know you can have it all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Steele. Thank you for that inspiring remarks. Just say you had a very great appearance on your first time. Now we'll welcome a more experienced speaker, Ms. Chen Luyu, arguing against the motion, women cannot have it all.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to say it's such a great honor and privilege for me to be here with so many fantastic women and men as well. I'm a woman. I don't have it all, but I think it's okay not to have it all. And you might want to wear your headphones because I might switch from English to Chinese from time to time. I'd like to tell you a story about myself. About 16 or 17 years ago, I was in Hong Kong doing a morning news show, a daily morning news show from Monday to Friday. It was live. And I was the only host of that show for about 5 years. So imagine, for 5 years, I was the only one who did that show. That means for 5 years, I got up at 4 a.m. in the morning every day for 5 years straight. And nobody replaced me even when I was sick. So you know what I did? I was extremely healthy. I was very healthy for all those 5 years. I never got sick for some reason. And that's when I just started my career. I wasn't well known like I am now. So the doorman in my apartment building had no idea who I was. He had no idea what I did for a living. And somehow he always looked at me in a very funny way. And I knew what he must be thinking. That girl is really suspicious, you know. I don't know what she does for a living, but I have my doubts because every morning she leaves the apartment building at 4 a.m. with her hair all messed up, and somehow she got back at around 9 a.m. in the morning, looking all glamorous, you know, with all those makeup. I'm just wondering what she does for a living. And I could feel that he really wanted to talk to me and asking me what I do for a living. But I don't think that he had the courage to hear what he was expecting from me. But one day, somehow he had the courage to come to me and ask me, in his really broken Chinese, 他说, 你是做什么工作的? What do you do for a living? 我说我是做电视的，我在凤凰卫视。I told him that I work in TV industry. I work for Phoenix TV. 我能听到他的心里面就你看她是个好女孩吧？我没搞错。So he was really, really happy. 这个故事告诉我什么呢？ I made my choice back then. 我们中国人相信《易经》里面相信舍得。舍得 means for anything we gain, there's something. Well, for anything you gain, there's something you pay. 有舍才有得。在那个时候 I worked really hard. I worked really, really hard back then. But I gave up my life basically. I didn't have a social life because in order to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, I had to go to bed before 10 or 9 p.m. every day. And that was some sacrifice, I think. I was really young. I was still in my, 20s or 30s. And I was in Hong Kong, you know. Hong Kong is famous for its nightlife, but I didn't have a life at all. But somehow that's my choice because I know at that time my career meant everything to me. You know, I have to give my viewers 100%. And at that time, it's okay not to have it all. Even today, it's okay not to have it all. And having it all doesn't mean anything. Whether or not you're happy with your life, whether or not you're content, I think that's more important than having it all. 我觉得对于女性来说，自强、独立、快乐是最重要的。有没有一切真的不重要，而且什么是一切呢？ 一切是别人告诉我们应该怎样的，而内心的快乐才是我们自己真正想要的。So, hey, girls, if you have it all, congratulations. If you don't have it all, it's okay. Just be yourself. Just be happy. That's my point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Lu Yu. Now please welcome Dr. Zhang Huaying from Coca-Cola Company.
Sure, it's always hard to follow Lu Yu. You can only imagine. And again, thank you for having me here. I have one more thing in life now. To me, I don't believe women are capable, or let's make it differently. I believe women are too capable to have it all, okay? We are mothers. We're born, we're women, we are here, we know, we're aware of others' needs. So in our heart, the idea of go out and have it all is against our nature, our mother nature, okay? We are in such a position that when we are having, we're thinking of we need to give, okay? Like Lu Yu, I would say, I don't have it all, but I have a lot. I have so much that I felt I need to give it all instead of having it all. I think because of our specialness, the idea of go out having it all actually is against the woman nature. The idea we want to live a balanced life, taking care of others, and live a full life is more of what we're going after. And then another point I want to make is very much what Lu Yu was saying. Life has a limit. Let's all admit that. Life has a limit in the sense of when you're an individual at a particular time, at a particular space, there is a limit to things. You really cannot have it all. So you're constantly making choices. When people believe men are having it all, let's be all honest about it. They are making their choices. They made the choices not to spend the treacherous time with their babies, with their children, with their family, but to work long hours. So in this kind of mindset, if you think about each individual has a limit, and we go in that limit, pushing the boundary, go for the best, that's a very interesting notion then, because with new technology, with the new workplace arrangement, then women can have more. Men can have more, okay? I was having this conversation with my secretary yesterday. I said, you know what? I don't like the way I live my life. I don't really have a boundary between work and life. In a sense, I go back home, I'm on my computer doing work all the time, right? But then I kind of quiet myself a second. I realized the other way is true too. If I have a teacher-parents conference, if I have my boys' performance during the day, I'm very happy to tell my boss, I'm sorry, that meeting I cannot attend. I have something more important to do. And the company is totally tolerating it. Because, let's put it this way, tolerate is a different word. That's a point I want to make. Women are very special. In the new century, this earth, this people need nurturing. They need us. They need people like women really think about how to take care of the planet, how to take care of the community, how to take care of each other, how to respect each other, right? In that sense, the workforce needs women with a woman perspective to make this planet a better place. So they're not just tolerating having women. Oh, I need to have 20% women. My boss is pushing me. This is a better position. No, this century belongs to women. Having women in the workplace is to be celebrated. They listen to us because our perspective, our angle is different. So, but I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I got to do all kinds of other things. So let's be ourselves. When we are proudly being ourselves, when we respect ourselves, to say, I am just different. Okay? This is the way I work. So do you want me to work here? If you do, then work with me. So really, in the company, that's the way it is. We have flexible working hours. We work with each other to make sure that such environment exists so we can support each other. And modern technology is great. You have this mobile phone with you. You literally can do the work on the bus, in the car, wherever you are, right? You can get on the mobile phone and you can even do conference call, video conference calls. So with the new technology, women can have more, men can have more. More of the men are making choices, just like women. They decided, why should I not spending time with my boy, right? They are taking paternal offs, right, when they're having babies. So it's a new time. People are making choices. I'm against the motion because I believe together we have no limits. Together we can create a new world. But as individual women, the notion of I can have it all and go out to take it all is the wrong idea. The idea is more of how can I grow the fullest? How can I become stronger and stronger? And how can I contribute using everything I have and give it all? Just like Ms. Wu was saying, Professor Wu was saying, the earth needs us, there are so many things needs us. This is woman. If we respect ourselves, everybody else respect ourselves, this planet will be a different place. Thank you.
Now we'll have a very quick show of hands. Those who are for the motion, women can have it all, please raise your hand. Let's see how much. Okay. Those who are against the motion, women cannot have it all, please raise your hand. Looks like more people are in position of against the motion. Then we'll start our second round, because this is not over. The discussion will continue. Let's see next round whether Professor Wu still can win over some audience. This time we'll start with Lu Yu, please, against the motion.
Actually, I'd like to take this opportunity to celebrate women. I have huge respect for women, career women or housewives. I'm a career woman, but I have huge respect for women who choose to stay at home to raise a family. I just got back from Tokyo last night. When I was in Tokyo, I visited my friend, or the 闺蜜, from high school. She's been married to a Japanese man for more than 20 years, and they've been living in Japan for 20 years. She lives in Tsukuba, Japan. I remember in October 2009, I visited her for a week. I stayed in her little apartment. It's a typical Japanese apartment, nothing fancy, but really comfortable. And her oldest daughter gave me her bedroom. So for a week, I stayed in the little girl's bedroom with Hello Kitty everywhere. And for about a week, I got to see the day-to-day life of a typical Japanese, Chinese housewife. And I thought to myself, wow, that's really tough. You know, I thought my life was tough back then, because I remember before I went to stay with my friend in October 2009, I was exhausted. I was really, really exhausted. I thought, oh, 我要再不工作太累了, you know, 我受不了了. Then I went to stay with my friend. I thought, my life was tough. Yeah, considered to hers, my life was so much easier, because every day for 10 years, she had to cook 3 meals a day for the entire family. She had to take care of her 2 little girls. She had to take care of her husband. And every day, from early in the morning to real late in the evening, she just stayed in the kitchen, you know, always by the sink, always running around, always doing something. And I was just sitting here looking at her, thinking to myself, wow, that's really tough, and that's real life. So whether we have a career, or our career somehow is in the house, you know, just taking care of kids, taking care of husband, still, that's our choice, and that's real life. I think women all over the world, we've come a long way. I was raised by my grandma, 我是我奶奶带大的, and she passed away 20 years ago. She was this tiny little lady. She had bound feet. 她是个小脚老太太. I remember her feet was about this big. Yeah, this big, with a very odd shape, very odd shape. And well, now I can't imagine. It must be really hard for her to walk. But every day she just, you know, ran around, running after me and doing all kinds of work for the entire family. But every night before she went to bed, she would fetch a basin of hot water, you know, extremely hot water. And she would take off her shoes and she put her feet into extremely hot water. And I could hear the sound of relief, you know, it's like, because every night before she went to bed, she must be exhausted. And that's her life, that's her world, that's her stage for her entire life. And I have huge respect for women like that, like my girlfriend from high school, like my grandma, you know. And I consider them to be career women somehow because that's their career and that's their choice. 所以我觉得真的，女人是不是能够拥有一切，真的不重要。就像刚才有一位女士说的，什么叫一切？每个人的标准是不一样的。可能有的人会说，有老公、有孩子、有事业、有金钱、美貌、身材，什么什么，那叫一切。我觉得 ，the hell with it， 就是你怎么可能要那么多呢？内心的快乐、平静，对家庭、对社会能够做到我们最好的、做最有用的人，我想那就是一切吧。女人，我赞同吴清教授讲，女人应该是独立的，金钱上的、精神上的。我想，也许那样就是所谓的一切。我很感谢大会给我这样机会，能够见到这么多很优秀的女性，你们给了我很多的力量。Keep walking, girls. Thank you.
Thank you, Lu Yu. Now, please, Dr. Zhang.
I think we are having this debate because there is an underlying belief of man can have it all, right? My point is, no one can have it all, right? The idea, like I said earlier, it is about what kind of life we want, and we should not seriously think about this. It's not about man and woman against each other, that we're in competition. We're not. This is our planet for every one of us. We are here. We all belong to this place. We all supposed to make this place better. So we should contribute to this planet in our own way. Women contribute in our own way. The lady is by the sink because she loves her family. She wants to take care of them. That's her way of realizing her value in life. So has she missed anything else? But that's her choice. If that's the way she wanted it, there is nothing wrong about it, right? Talking about grandma, I was brought up by a feet-bonding grandma too. And I used to hear, this is what people would say, my grandma has 9 children, and she runs the household, right? And she would tell me stories of how she ran away from the Japanese, how she had to scrapple during the early 90s when we had the famine. So all of those stories, a lot of those, if you hear it, heroic stories, right? When the husband is out there, 闯关东, you know, going out, making money, making living, she actually holds the household together. So that's not by her choice at the time. right? Maybe. If she wants to choose different things, she couldn't. Nowadays, in the modern life, maybe not in Africa, at least in China in the modern days, right? If we choose to not to be the housewife, I'm sure she had the education to go out to do other things. But then, does that mean being very competitive, being a big boss at the work, then you had it all? No, by having that, you missed all that taking care of family thing. So the idea of having it all is damaging, because I don't believe the competition between man and woman. I believe we are different, but we are complementary. Women are special, just like men are special. Every one of us are special. As long as we are comfortable with our specialness, make the best we can with our specialness, and go out there, live it all, we don't have to have it all.
Thank you, Dr. Zhang. Now please welcome Professor Wu Qing to make a last argument.
Thank you very much. You know, I think all is like yin and yang balanced. I think for a person, for an individual, it is very important to experience everything in life. So I think I'm very lucky to have a very, very good husband. He does the cooking at home, actually. I do the shopping, cleaning, and washing. We are very well balanced because we respect each other. And that's why I think what my mom told me, we are all human beings before we are men and women. So if he was very busy writing a book, then I would do most of the housework. I would even learn how to do cooking, or we would just dine out. So I think it's very important for husband and wife. You have to choose the right husband. Yes, I think this is very important. You know, who has this gender awareness? Because we are all human beings. There are no set roles for women or men. So that's why, because we have different roles, multi-roles, a daughter, a wife, a mother, a colleague. So we have to balance ourselves. This is very important. So I think respect for others, respect for life. This is very important. So I think when I say to have it all, you need it. You need that kind of experience, work as well as life. So that's why if you come to my home is always in a very messy situation, because I usually do not have the time, you know, to do the cleaning. And then some of my friends said, why don't you, you know, have a help? I said, no, because my stuff is always piled up. You know, I do the cleaning myself. I know what to throw away. So I don't need help. I do it myself. So I think it's very important to have a purpose in life, to find the right husband who is willing to share with you. Yin and yang have to be balanced in yourself. Yin and yang, when yin and yang is balanced, you are healthy. And your mind is healthy. So in the family, yin and yang. So we help each other. We are really very complementary. So I think you have to find the right husband who shares with you the values. This is very, very important. And then you balance your life, work and family. Thank you.
Professor Wu, yes. How to find the right husband in the first place?
Thank you. Actually, we were schoolmates, and then colleagues, and then husband and wife. And actually, this is something my mother really supported. Because, you know, if you know your future husband through a middleman, well, this person will tell you all the best qualities of that guy. You don't know the other side. But when you know someone so well, then, you know his strong points as well as weak points, and then you have to decide. So that's why, you know, you have to know the person well enough. both sides. And you have to share your two sides with the other guy as well, because every single person has the right to make the choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
You know what?
Professor Wu. Now please welcome Ms. Nicole Steele.
Thank you. I feel really sad that the majority of women in the room don't think they can have it all, because I still think it's something we need to reimagine. And I want to quickly share a story, because we are at the APEC conference, of a different way of looking at having it all. India ranks 135 on the gender inequality scale by most Middle Eastern nations, as I'm sure most of you know. But did you know that only 12% of Indian women use disposable sanitary protection? I found out this fact when I worked on Stay Free's Women Foundation for Change, a fact that leads 1 in 4 young Indian women to drop out of school by the time they menstruate. So what does this have to do with having it all? Well, if we're going to talk about having it all, let's be honest. This is a first world problem created by the media, as I said before. So what's the definition of having it all? I have no idea. I absolutely have no idea. I can only guess that in developed countries, we believe having it all means being the perfect wife and mother and climbing the career ladder. But let me tell you the story of one woman in India having it all, because her story left me so inspired. Anya was a director in India at a Fortune 500 company. Like 50% of her staff, she entered an arranged marriage and had a son. She loved her husband and her son, but she struggled with living under the same roof as her in-laws, who she didn't believe were the best influence on her son as he was growing up. Even though she earned a lot of money, moving out was not an option. She respected her culture, so she devised a very clever plan to keep the peace. She decided to build a house, but never finish the house. Every weekend for the past 3 years, Anya goes with her husband and son to work on this house. They stay in a small finished part of the house, too small for more than 3 people to live. Anya juggles parenthood, career, and construction peacefully. Not effortlessly, not perfectly, but peacefully. She accepts the things she cannot change and changes the things she can. Anya's much happier since taking on building her own home, because she has decreased her son's exposure to his in-laws. Now, some of you in the audience may view this as duplicitous. Her motivation, however, is to keep the peace and cause no harm. When I asked Anya recently if she had it all, she said, absolutely. The only thing I lack in life is a bit of sleep. Now, I've talked a lot today about my story of having it all, or the women I've had the great fortune to cross paths with. But what I really want to know in these final moments from my audience at APEC is, what does having it all mean to you? Because as I said earlier, I have no idea. When Mr. Lee asked me to argue for this motion, I was at a loss. It wasn't something I have ever considered in my life. I'd like to understand a bit from this room of talented young women, and if you're not brave enough to hear your stories, please share your story online and tag it, #IHaveItAll. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Steele. Then we'll take a very quick show of hands. Some of you, after 2 rounds, may have changed your minds. All those who are for the motion, women can have it all, please raise your hand. Okay. All those who are against the motion, women cannot have it all, please raise your hands. Looks like some of you did change your minds. Okay. The past hour and a half has been very informative and exciting. And can women have it all? This age-old question is still being asked, and I'm sure this debate will continue for some time in the future. After hearing our guests, I have to say that I have more questions than ever about what women want, but maybe that's a good thing. Special thanks to our distinguished guests and to our audience for being here today. I'm sure we have a better idea now about what we can do to make this world a better place for all women. Okay, that's the end of our debate today. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.